A Madison basketball team being honored for its resilience after a 2024 school shooting. The Abundant Life Christian School boys team received the Spirit of Sport Award at this year's Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association annual meeting after returning to play in January of 2025. Abundant Life head coach Mike Thies, after their season ended,
I tell these guys a lot that it's more than basketball. We play for a much higher purpose. God continues to give you opportunities to play for Him and His higher purpose and for our community and our fans. I just am so grateful.
The award presented by the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin and the WIAA. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is down 152 points. The Nasdaq off 85. S&P 500 down about 12. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports traffic and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 10:04.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace this spring. Reface.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home. I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselis. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Give me an extra large deep dish with sausage and green peppers.
Sir, this is Hasselis Mattress.
Throw in some breadsticks, too.
We don't have breadsticks.
Oh, well, give me some of them mozzarella sticks then.
We don't sell pizza. We sell mattresses from Sealy Posturepedic, Beautyrest, and more for way less.
I think I've got a coupon somewhere.
You won't need a coupon for these everyday deals. Others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beautyrest Queen Elm Cove A mattress for $1,459, but Hasselis has it for just $794.
Running any specials?
Yes. Through Monday, get an additional $248 off your new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress just for shopping local.
Do you deliver?
Free next day delivery and haul away of your old mattress.
Great. Step on it, will you? I'm really hungry.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselis.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 5-0 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates. They'll continue their homestand tomorrow against the Arizona Diamondbacks. NFL Draft over the weekend. Packers made their first selection of the second round, taking South Carolina cornerback Brandon Cisse. Green Bay then added 3 more defenders, taking Missouri defensive lineman Chris McClellan, Penn State edge rusher Danny Dennis Sutton, and Alabama cornerback Damani Jackson. Packers begin OTAs in a month. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A new crash, I-43 north at North Avenue. It is blocking the left lane. One on the left shoulder earlier. I-41 north at North Avenue has been cleared. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain and storms likely today. Some could be severe this evening. High today 60. Those storms should end overnight with the low 49. Partly cloudy 62 tomorrow. Partly cloudy and 55 on Wednesday. Again cloudy on Thursday. High 51. Sunshine on Friday with a high 50. 57 in Madison. 54 in Green Bay and 49 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Let's start the week by going up front to get the latest on Wisconsin politics statewide with Channel 12 Political Director Matt Smith on Point Taken.
I think the pacing's weird on that. What did you think? Matt Smith joining. It's a little too slow. I think we should a little more
speed it up a little bit.
A little higher energy.
Yeah. Can you call him back?
Is this the Eagles? Yeah.
It's a good Monday morning
dirty,
solo work.
Well, dirty laundry, I guess is the
yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
How's your weekend?
It's good. Busy, fast. Here we are on a Monday morning.
Too quick. I was doing projects. You were doing baseball games and all that stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
Soccer. What were you doing?
Softball, soccer,
Nice.
you name it. Check it off the list.
Well, you got kids, and you're a young man, so you're going to have a lot of that to look forward to. All right. Matt is here because he's one of the great hosts of Upfront on Channel 12. Our great partners here on the first half hour of every Monday's program, along with Jaron Jordan. He's producing some of the best political content in the state. This week, no exception. Just this list of guests. Francesca Hong, Democrat. Tom Tiffany, Democrat. Peter Burgelis, Alderman. You say Republican?
Tom Tiffany's a Republican.
Yeah, did I say,
you said Democrat.
Oh, my God. That's not
we'll
true.
We'll start Monday over.
That's not true in any sense. Sorry, Tom Tiffany.
Correct.
He actually might be on the show this week. So
good.
I'll have to apologize.
Yeah.
Tom Tiffany is conservative and is almost as conservative as you get. So you got two Democrats because Peter Burgelis, Alderman from Milwaukee, made a big announcement. We'll get to that. Let's start with Francesca Hong, one of 7 candidates officially, I think, for the Democratic nomination for governor. You talked to her along with Jared. What was on her mind?
Well, listen, it's fascinating because as of right now, according to the Marquette poll, she is the top vote getter among Democratic voters. It's only at 14%, but she is the top. There's some 65% of Democrats who say they're still undecided. So we wanted just to catch up on the state of the race. It's May. The primary is coming up in August. It was following those comments by the Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez. I got a lot of traction last week. So we just wanted to catch up with her, and there's a lot coming at her from fellow Democrats, from Republicans for sure. She's a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist and leading the pack, at least at this moment.
I'm curious from your point of view as a journalist that covers politics in the state of Wisconsin, and Upfront is the program that we're going to be getting the clips from. This is the moment, I think, started with the Sarah Rodriguez comments, behind the curtain, or the 3 words that got her in trouble, quoting in trouble. And then Francesca's been tied to some other individuals, including the owner of the Minocqua Brewing Company. That was not part of your interview because that happened after the interview. Yeah. But it's the moment in the campaign for the Democratic nomination where there's starting to be some infighting. Are you perceiving it that way?
Yeah, and there's moments now where they're starting to talk about each other as Republicans look to talk about all of them. And one of the other moments, or one of the other posts we talked about, she's talked about defunding the police a fair amount. Yeah. And Tom Tiffany recently brought that up again, so we asked her about that as well. And she didn't really say yes or no. She kind of walked a middle ground on that. So that's going to be an issue that I think is really going to percolate in the coming weeks and months.
Let's hear a little bit of that interview with Francesca Hong.
How would you assess the current state of the Democratic primary?
We have a robust primary. Spirited primary is good for democracy. Our campaign is focused on reaching as many voters as we can and making sure that our campaign is accessible. That means we have to be at the dive bars. That means we're campaigning sometimes at bowling alleys, making sure folks see the working class champion wanting to champion for working class people.
Look, Francesca Hong is the I can safely say the most far left candidate in that list, I guess. I'm not a Democrat, so I don't have to worry about those words. But she's not wrong on her approach because it seems to be generating enough interest that she is the leading candidate so far. Again, lots of time left.
It's a somewhat non-traditional approach, right? She's going to places, I think, on purpose that potentially other Democratic candidates would not go to, right? She specifically mentioned that, walking into dive bars, specifically looking maybe for someone wearing a mega hat and sitting down and having a beer and actually talking to them.
That would be fascinating to hear that conversation.
It's a different type of campaign. A lot of it's social media driven, and a lot of the attention she's getting is coming on social media. But at this moment, it appears to be working.
Well, she's not my candidate, but I admire the ability to get out. She's been everywhere, and she's maybe this is a reach, maybe not. She's probably the most active social media candidate. Am I wrong on that? I mean, she's doing a lot of stuff.
She's doing a lot, yeah. I mean, like I said, we haven't looked at metrics, but yes, she is doing a lot, and the approach to the campaign is somewhat different than a traditional Democratic candidate.
As someone who covers politics for a living, and as we talk about this large number of candidates, there will be meet and greets. I know Kristen's hosting an event for the women candidates this week, just the 4 women in the race, but there'll be other gatherings of all of them. Where do you expect this conversation, or do you, I should put it this way because you're a journalist, do you expect this group to winnow before the election?
That's the question, right?
Somebody get out.
I think once we see the new fundraising numbers a little bit into the summer, that will be telling, right? If you cannot raise the money at some point, you're going to have to get out. I think there's other candidates who are hell-bent on staying in until the August primary. I think there are some Democrats who look at what happened with the U.S. Senate primary when everyone essentially got out for Mandela Barnes, and some candidates are saying, we're not going to do that again. So as of now, at least, I think there's going to be a sizable amount, 5+ perhaps, on the ballot, and what that does and what happens between now and August between the candidates, that's up for the campaign trail at this moment.
And I believe I asked Joseph Pecky on Friday. If I didn't, it was during the off-air portion of the conversation about, is this one of those clear the field scenarios? He doesn't see it that way, and he's a Democratic strategist. And so that part is different than the Senate race.
Yeah, 100%.
We shall see. After the break, we'll hear from conservative Republican Tom Tiffany. I want to get that on the record. I made a mistake. It's a conservative. I know Tom. Interviewed him a bunch of times. He may be on the show this week, actually. Tom Tiffany. We'll hear from him from up front. Channel 12 political director Matt Smith joining me in studio as he does every Monday. By the way, Kristen is off this week. So that I paused for the reaction from the audience.
They're letting you fly solo for a full week?
Solo.
Oh,
Steve,
boy.
Is it Steve Uncensored? No. Is it Steve Unplugged? Perhaps.
That's a tease.
Yeah.
A week-long tease.
We're going to do some crazy stuff as we did last Friday when I had a little bit of freedom as well. All right. Freedom's not the right word. Sorry, Kristen, if she's listening. Quick break on 620 WTMJ. Freedom!
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow. I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week as the weather warms up in the great state of Wisconsin, we're talking bicycling, cycling, all the cool things you can do on a bike. Why not get out 2 wheels and experience the great things on a bike in Wisconsin?
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Matt Smith joining us from Channel 12, political director, host of Upfront, along with Jaron Jordan, who was in studio a couple weeks ago. So we'll welcome Jaron back at some point. All right, we were mentioning in the first segment of the show on Point Taken. Kristen is off this week, by the way. Francesca Hong, right now the leading candidate if you go by polling and some of the numbers out there, and a lot of ways you can look at that. But on the other side, it's a one-horse race. Tom Tiffany, conservative from northern Wisconsin, Congressman Tom Tiffany, who may be, I'm efforting to get him on the show. Efforting is not a word, by the way. Efforting to get him on the show this week. Did you know it wasn't a word?
I didn't.
I use it all the time. Somebody keeps sending me to say it's not a word.
Huh.
I'm using it as a word. I don't.
Sounds like a word.
It does. And I'm making the effort to get Tom Tiffany on the show. It's like efforting.
All right.
A shortcut.
Oh, every time I say that now or think of it, I'm going to remember this conversation.
Yes. Maybe you shouldn't say it. If there's, because you know this, there are sticklers out there.
Oh, for sure.
If I step off the grammar ship, it's like, what are you doing? Where did you get that word from?
Yeah.
Anyway, you talked to Congressman Tom Tiffany. When it's a one-man show, it's a different thing. He has the luxury of just attacking the opponents, and he's got 7 of them.
Yep.
Maybe a quick journalistic takeaway from your interview with Tom.
Yeah, so it is fascinating, right? Because he is the only leading candidate on that side right now. He's the only one up on TV. So he kind of has this period right now attempting to define himself and then define the other candidates. You have all of this coming off the spring elections and the 20-point loss for Maria Lazar. And there's a lot of talk about that behind the scenes. Yes, the elections are going to be different. Yes, turnout is going to be different. But there are counties and there are districts where there were a lot of Trump voters who voted for Chris Taylor. And that's something the state party is dealing with. Fundraising is something the state party is dealing with. And there's kind of this like behind the scenes conflict.
What should happen to the chairman? Yeah. A good setup for your own clip. You're not a newbie on this job, Matt Smith. Here's Congressman Tom Tiffany.
Do you have full confidence in Brian Schimming? Should he remain the state party chair through your election?
I think the executive committee made that decision in the last week that they're going to keep having Brian Schimming as the chair. I've always worked well with Brian, so I don't have a problem with that. We're building our own campaign, and I'm not concerned about others, whether it's the state party or other campaigns. We are at the top of the ballot in this election. We are going to bring the leadership necessary to win this election for Republicans.
Let me give you my take on it.
Yeah.
He's basically saying he is or he isn't, doesn't affect us. We're pro-Trump. We're going to align ourselves with the president, his policies, whatever that means in Washington, D.C., whatever it means in Wisconsin. I'm not surprised by it. And I guess to a bigger point, if you're a candidate for the chairmanship of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, why would you jump on now? I mean, Schimming's just probably going to ride it out to at least the next election. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, and the fundraising numbers have not compared to what Democrats have raised recently. And I think what was notable is Tom was saying, listen, we're making our own fundraising efforts. We're doing our own campaign donations, right? Like, because there's now this process sometimes where people donate to the state party and then the state party donates to the candidates. Right. That's not happening as much on the Republican side. There's sometimes more groups, but Tiffany has made note to say several times now that, listen, we're building our own fundraising machine. So whatever's happening at the state party, we're going to be fine. At least that's what he's saying publicly.
Yeah, and even though it's a state job he's running for, he's a national level elected official. He's a congressman.
Yep.
And like Brian Style, who we'll talk about in the next segment, a new candidate in that race in the 1st Congressional District. He's saying to me, we're good, we're running our race, but we're not going to see, essentially, he's got free reign on all the Democrats who are running. We're not going to see a head-to-head until the race is won by the primary, and that's August. So nothing really changes on his front unless something happens that's tied to him directly, his work.
And interesting enough, he kind of gave the same answer when I quickly asked about Tommy Thompson, because there's still that speculation out there, right? Like, will he or won't he? He's kind of left it hanging. I think everyone kind of knows probably what the answer is.
Look.
But he said, listen, I don't care who gets in this. We're building our operation, and we're going.
Yeah, which, if I'm a candidate that's a one-man ship as far as there's no one else running against me for the Republican nomination, he's answering the questions the right way. We're good. We're running a race. We're going to say what we want to say. We're going to go where we want to go. I don't have to occupy my time with someone that's challenging me for the nomination.
Yeah.
From a Republican perspective, in a state where they have not done well in some of these statewide races, this is an opportunity for him.
And it could be the benefit that he has. Well, Democrats are talking about themselves
tearing each other apart
for the next couple months.
Yeah.
He can be defining himself as opposed to the Democratic candidates putting all of their attention onto him.
All right, we're going to shift to the 1st Congressional District, my district where I live, Brian Style, and a new challenger comes from the city of Milwaukee. Wait a second. Do you live in a district? We'll answer that question, or do you have to? Better question after this.
Want to watch all your favorite WTMJ shows? Check out the WTMJ YouTube channel. Live streams of all your favorite WTMJ shows, from Wisconsin's morning news to what's on tap. See breaking news as it happens. Get involved with the action in the chat on Brewers Extra Innings, or see all the cool tools on the Fix-It Show. Missed your favorite show? We've got past live streams and interview highlights too. Subscribe to 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavidi for Geist Garage Door, the trusted authority in Wisconsin when it comes to garages, or openers, by the way. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Don't fret if your opener's inconsistent. That's my problem was. That's why I contacted my friends at Geist. With brands like CHI, LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. Will even build custom designs. I saw some of these at their showroom in Brookfield. Absolutely spectacular. You can meet all of your exact needs, design, budget. They're the best. Swift and reliable garage repair solutions as well. Go to GeisDoors.com. Visit their showroom in Brookfield. Check it out. Hundreds of doors and openers. You won't believe the technology that's available now. Don't think twice. Call Geis, Geis, GeisDoors.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Before I moved to Capri Communities, my daughter spent more time helping me with chores than enjoying our visits. Now, when she comes over, we go to concerts, enjoy delicious meals, and participate in great activities that are always happening. I choose senior living so that our time together can be about fun, not fixing things. And I love the freedom it gives me every day.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again. Get started today at CapriCommunities.com.
The new Russell apartment sofa is Penny Mustard's greatest optical illusion.
How so?
The Russell appears to be the perfect pint-sized sofa to fit any small living space.
Yeah?
But behold, the three of us can comfortably sit together without feeling cramped.
No way.
Try it.
Okay.
See?
Wow, you're right.
Seeing is believing.
You know this is radio, right?
Just squint your ears, you'll see it.
The new Russell apartment sofa, starting at $20.81 at Penny Mustard. Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago. PennyMustard.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want my house to look better than it does. I just don't know where to even start or even what to do. Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can help you love your home again. They have the design consultants, they've got the showroom, they've got real picture renderings, they've got it all to help turn your home back into your dream home. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting.
All right, Matt Smith hanging out as he does every Monday. Political director, Channel 12, host of Up Front on Channel 12, the best political show on local TV. I don't even have to stretch on that one. It's really good. You always have the newsmakers on. It makes my life easy on okay, who would we have on?
Monday morning.
Oh, I don't know. The leading candidates on the Democratic side. There's only one candidate on the Republican side. Oh, and then this guy, Milwaukee Alderman Peter Bergelis, who's now running in my district, 1st Congressional District. Fascinating fun fact here. Maybe not so fun for the alderman, current alderman, future candidate. Doesn't live in a district.
Yeah.
A lot of people were surprised about that. Like, wait.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to right now. He says he's about a mile outside the district.
Close.
Milwaukee alderman, currently for the city of Milwaukee. Yeah, so he's close.
So let's hear a little bit, because you asked him about this on Upfront.
You're currently a Milwaukee alderman. You don't live currently in the 1st District. Is that a challenge? Will that pose a challenge to campaign? And how do you address that to voters in the 1st?
When I'm out listening to what people care about in southeastern Wisconsin, in Waterford or in Beloit, it's the same message that I've been hearing from my constituents on the southwest side. People are hurting.
Those critics who say that you don't live in the district that you're trying to represent, how do you address that specific concern?
Listen, voters don't care where you live or what the driver's license address is in my wallet. Voters care where you stand.
I don't know if that's true. My opinion. And you're not going to tell me your opinion, but it is an interesting, because I've talked to people that go, wait a second, you can run for congressperson and not be in your district? Well, yeah, you can. And I think at some point you got to get
sworn in. You got to move.
Yeah.
By the time you're sworn in, you have to be living in the district.
Now, I talked to a bunch of people over the weekend about this story, because we were talking. It might have been on the Friday show with Bill and Joe, or it might have been off. But he's an interesting candidate. He's very polished. Is my term, polished. Great communicator. He seems to be very aware, and I agree with him on the one comment that was played there, where he understands the issues that Wisconsinites are talking about. And I sort of reduce it down to gas and groceries.
Yeah,
that's an easy one. It gets beyond that. What are you going to do as a congressman? you're an alderman. So it's a big leap forward.
It is. And Democrats have struggled to find a candidate
in that district. Yeah.
To rise above any level. There are a handful of others who are in, but none have really made waves yet.
Randy Bryce is in again, I believe.
Yeah. The DCCC has attempted to
For
invest.
folks who don't know what that is, tell them.
Essentially the fundraising arm for House Democrats.
Yeah.
They've attempted to invest in the first as well as the third, where Congressman Derek Van Orden is. But Brian Stile won by 10 points in 2024. So it's going to take a lot of money, and it's going to take a Democratic wave, I think, which Democrats acknowledge, to essentially attempt to flip this.
And money does matter. And correct me if I'm wrong, Stile had like $5 million
on hand. The last reporting, $5.5 million on hand.
Full disclosure, he's my congressman. I voted for him. I know him. I see him around. He's a lot of different events. So I have that bias. But he's been a 2-term congressman, I believe. Yeah. This will be his third go around, I think. I'll have to think about that. Maybe longer than that.
Yeah, time flies.
Oh, maybe it's 3. I don't know. Yeah. That's history. I understand history, but I'm not the best at it. Matt Smith, always appreciate your wisdom.
Yeah.
And again, keep getting the game changers and newsmakers, because that's why the show is so good. Upfront is the program. You can find it across the state, all different cities across the state. Timing differs on their local schedules, but generally you play it on Sunday here.
Yeah, ABC stations across the state.
Yeah, good stuff. Matt Smith, we'll talk to you again next Monday.
Yeah.
Coming up in the next half hour, we got to talk about it, right? The big events, for a different reason, became a big news story over the weekend. It's supposed to be a White House Correspondents' dinner. The president was showing it for the first time in his presidency, first or second term, I believe, and then all hell broke loose. So we'll explore that. We have local news coming up with the great Connie Weber. Before we get to any or all of that, here's now the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Questions about security following the shooting at the White House Correspondents' dinner on Saturday. The alleged shooter had written to his family alleging that security wasn't up to par. Cole Allen had checked into the Washington Hilton and then is believed to have walked down 10 flights of stairs and go undetected while he was armed before suddenly dashing toward the checkpoint. Some were wondering why bags aren't inspected when checking into the hotel. Former FBI agent Brad Garrett explains why.
Any way that you can get to the ballroom, people should not have access, or at least has to go through a human person, a Secret Service agent or uniformed officer. But I'm going to guess here that because of fire codes, you can't lock down that elevator. Yes, you could put a Secret Service agent in the stairwell, of course, but you couldn't shut down the stairwell just because of fire, etc.
Iran saying it will reopen the Strait of Hormuz if Washington lifts the blockade on all Iranian ports. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. Marcus Sudbury is settling in as the interim athletic director for Wisconsin after the surprise departure of Chris McIntosh earlier this month. With the university losing its athletic director and chancellor in just a few months' span, Sudbury says he hopes to provide some stability in his new role. Sudbury's been with the UW athletic department since 2022. Madison schools will be closed Friday, May 1st, because of expected staff shortages. District leaders say many employees plan to take part in a Date Without Immigrants event, raising concerns about student supervision. There will be no after-school care, but activities and athletics will continue. Students will not have to make up the missed day. An annual river cleanup in Milwaukee sets a Guinness World Record. Over 2,000 volunteers participated in the Milwaukee River Keeper Spring Cleanup on Saturday. They collected over 100,000 pounds of trash across dozens of locations along the Milwaukee, Menominee, and Kinnick rivers. The cleanup has already been surpassing the world record for years, but never had it officially been certified until now. Time for news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow down 163 points, 49,067. The Nasdaq off 77, 24,759. The S&P 500 is down 11 points, 7,153. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A crash, I-43 North at North Avenue. It was blocking the left lane. That now has been cleared off the roadway. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain and storms likely today, some possibly severe this evening after a high today of 60. Those storms should end early in the overnight hours with an overnight low of 49. Partly cloudy and 62 tomorrow. Partly cloudy and 55 on Wednesday. Partly cloudy and 51 Thursday and Friday. Mostly sunny with a high of 50. 58 in Madison, 55 in Green Bay, 50 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources. Help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you, who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Squawkers start their shows. I thought, why not have fun? Kristen's off this week. You're going to hear a lot of that. There's not a better wind-up than that song. That's a walkout song. I should have wore a jersey. That's how good that walkout song. If I had a jersey, baseball jersey, I'd wear that. Thanks for listening, as always, on this Monday edition of Point Ticket. Kristen is off all this week. Unless you're in a cave or not paying attention to anything over the weekend, what started as, I wonder what the White House Correspondents' Dinner will say about the president and his administration, turned into another assassination attempt on the life of the president and his administration. Headline, Trump survives, he was fine. Another headline, weak security, including questions about why apparently the security was relaxed at this event. I've been to that hotel many times. Fast forward to my previous life as an elected official. Many of our U.S. Conference of Mayors were held there at the Hilton. It's a big, big venue, lots of rooms, it's a big tower. I can tell you that the times that I saw a president speak or vice president speak or CEOs or administration and cabinet officials speak at those conferences, the security was as tough as it gets. So whether that was a weak link, that's open to debate. Thankfully, no one hurts. The agent, thankfully, had his vest on. His vest that saved his life, apparently. So just like others in law enforcement, public safety community, those vests save your life. So thank God for that. It became, in sort of a weird way, a debate about a lot of other things, including, and this is the danger of Twitter, because as I was hearing about this, I made the mistake of looking at Twitter. Wow, bad take after bad take. It used to be the actual news event was the part where but now it's all the other bad takes that come after in any news event. This is a serious thing. Individual charges in with a shotgun, firing, and apparently, according to the investigators, wanted to take out the president and members of his administration. Interesting, dazzling point number one. Most often, these are events where the comedians, the guests, the speakers, tweet the president. These things have gone on forever. Famously, this president hasn't really attended as president. He's been in the audience for before he was president, and didn't take it well. The detail is this administration decided this time to show up en masse, and with everybody, cabinet officials, vice presidents. I think they had 5 of the top 6 in that hierarchy of who becomes the next president when someone's assassinated. I think they had 5 of the top 6, which is not a good scenario at this event. And the other sort of weird Twitter thing is, was this staged? I don't think so. That may be a talking point for people who don't like the president, but no. But let's just put it this way. If it's staged and somebody finds out, this president's done, regardless of what he does in anything else. My opinion. 855-616-1620. The other really weird Wisconsin thing, and this is not breaking news or a dazzling detail, but this sort of individual from the Minocqua Brewing Company, I don't spend a lot of time talking about Kirk Bangstad, former candidate for assembly, uses his brand to attack the president and Republicans. I'm just going to read you a couple quotes as we go to break. And he's had this running sort of, he calls it a gag or whatever, but it's a little more than that. Free beer day. Here's a quote on their social media, the brewery's social media. It's a business, by the way. Either a brother or sister in the resistance needs to work on their marksmanship, or he faked another assassination to get a positive news cycle. We'll never know. Regardless, we stand at the ready to pour free beer the day it happens. Basically saying to their audience, whoever that is, certainly not me, kill the president, you get free beer. What twisted, psychotic individual think that's a good idea? You can hate the president. Certainly a lot of people do. I don't hate the president. I just don't like his policies on some things. But to actively encourage fans of your brewery or fans of your social media account to take out a president, it's just mind-numbingly sad. And sort of, I guess the reality is it's sad reflection on where we've come, where we've fallen to when it comes to politics. It's absolutely inexcusable that this is where we're at. And I often lament about going to social media, and I typically use it just for work stuff, but I'll weigh in on something occasionally. And if you're someone who follows me on Twitter or Facebook, once you start trolling, you're blocked. I don't play the game some people do where you want to engage. I'm not going to engage with stupidity, especially if you're anonymous. Get away from me. If you're not brave enough, let me rephrase. If you're such a coward that you can't put your name on it, not interested. I don't care what your thought. You could be an Einstein. If you don't put your name on it, don't care. And that's sort of my expectation for social media. So that's one side of this story. I want to get back to the preparedness thing because that is a serious, serious question. Secret Service, public safety. They're tasked with protecting the president. Were they ready for the job over the weekend? It's a fair question. Thankfully, no one was killed. But could have been much worse. Steve flying solo on this Monday as Kristen celebrates a week off from this job, although she's probably doing some other work that's associated with her great projects and all the things she does on that side of away from the microphone. We'll get to a quick break here. Lots happening on this Monday edition on Point Taken. Thanks for hanging out on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. You know I'm obsessed with all things royal, so we're rolling out the red carpet to personally invite you on the British Crown Experience with Fox World Travel and Insight Vacations. We're talking about the changing of the guard, the crown jewels, high tea, Stonehenge, Oxford, the full royal treatment. This isn't just a tour, it's history you can feel. I hope you join me. Visit foxworldtravel.com or 866-GO-FOX-GO, 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi from Milwaukee Weight Loss. I love talking about Milwaukee Weight Loss. Talked with about some teammates about that the other day. It's the secret. Worked for me. 45 pounds lost last year, another 8 or so this year. Losing 1 pound of fat every day. They know the secret. Their doctor developed easy to follow. I could follow it. You can follow it, right? Lose weight fast, naturally, safely, no drugs, no injections, none of the side effects, none of the prepackaged gimmicky meals and bars and shakes. I suggest walking, but you don't even have to exercise. You'll lose the weight. It resets your metabolism. That's the key. I was talking to Homer the other day. He's also doing the program. And he said, yeah, it's reset the way I look at food, think about food, the way I consume food. It helps you keep the weight off for good. I've done that. Homer's doing that. And get this. Here's the kicker. Half as much cost, twice as fast in its results. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation. Many patients, just like me and Homer and others, have lost 20 or 30 pounds in a month or two. Pound per day. And a special kicker for listening to this show. $200 off their spring special. Here's what you got to do. Book your free consultation. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do,
you can't beat Burkhardt.
153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Goalrilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do,
you can't beat Burkhardt.
Gene Miller here from my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this. And Summit Credit Union's got you.
It is Monday. It is Point Taken, and Kristen last week. She does a lot of things away from the show. That girl, if nothing else, that woman is very busy. So, and I know she had a little bit of time away with family and her husband, so I'm sure she had fun in Nashville. We're talking about the story over the weekend. So it was started as, hey, Trump's going to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Cool for some people. Some people said, don't want him there. Regardless of how you feel about the president. It's something that's happened over time. It's the history of the events. So 2 comments. One on the readiness. Now, you could argue, and many people have, that security worked the way it's supposed to because no one was killed. And the officer that was hit in the vest, safety vest, seems to be recovering just fine. So that's the good part. And you could make the argument. But many experts, industry experts on both the security of high-profile events and or public safety had said, it seems like some of the measures that are typically in place were relaxed. Now, could that be because this president, and probably maybe even more accurately, his administration wanted it to not to be a complete lockdown? They wanted to show this president is out there and available. And whatever your thoughts are, President Trump, he makes himself available more than any president that I can remember. He is a public-facing president. Again, whatever you think about him. Now, his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, who at some point sort of runs the show inside the White House, she's being called out that maybe she was part of the idea that's being reported in places like Politico and some other news organizations, that maybe there was a pullback on some security to make it a little more accessible. Bad idea. Bad idea. And because I care about the life of a president, all presidents, whether I like them or not, whether I vote for them or not, this is why the conversation matters. This is why it's important. And if anything was done to sort of pull back or relax security expectations or policies around this event, because it's a press event, I don't want to see that. And this, now the third situation, I believe, with President Trump being either shot at or threatened, let's take it seriously. Again, I can make the separation between not liking the policies of a president and wishing the president to be dead, which is what I talked about in the first segment. The other weird, this is the part where I'm going to criticize the president and his administration. After the event is canceled, members of the cabinet, the administration, the president, vice president, I saw Marco Rubio. She's on maternity leave, but Caroline Leavitt was there, White House press secretary. Had this event, which seemed to me rather celebratory in what was sort of a, let's be honest, a darker occasion when people are threatened with weapons in a public-facing event. It seemed a little bit more of a celebration. And I as a texter said, I understand that the president's a showman first. And this is the part I want to get to. The idea that we're going to turn this horrible story of someone trying to kill people in a public-facing event with the president and many members of the press, it was a who's who of Washington, D.C. and national press reporters and journalists because everybody was there. To make an argument about this is why we need a ballroom just seems silly to me. For one easy one. This wasn't a White House event. This is a dinner put on by journalists and journalist organizations, the White House Correspondents Press Association. It's not a White House event. The president was saying, this is why we need a ballroom. This event's never going to be in a White House ballroom, whether it's built or not. And right now, there's I think a $400 million price tag on this thing, and there's ongoing lawsuits to make sure that it doesn't happen. President wants to get this full speed ahead. Any idea that he was going to have it done by the 250th celebration of the country is not going to happen. They can't build them that fast. But to turn a serious, potentially tragic event into a sales group meeting for a White House ballroom, read the room. Americans don't want to hear that. And I'm not basing it on my dislike of the president's policies. Just not the time. Presidents matter because they're the leading elected official in the country. The reason this president has so much power is because Congress has basically abdicated all their power and responsibility to the president. We could argue long and hard that's not a good idea, and I think some of that's coming forward because they can't even get budgets done anymore. But to make it about a ballroom, the president lost me on that one. It's not about that. You could be a showman, sure. But that's not the time or the place for that nonsense. Just a thought on the White House Correspondents' dinner in Washington nearly was a very tragic event. Quick break.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home. I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 85% lean ground chuck, $4.99 a pound. Jumbo sweet onions, 99 cents a pound. 48-ounce selected varieties Edie's ice cream, 2 for $7. 5.9 to 16-ounce selected varieties Frito-Lay Lay's potato or kettle chips or Munchies, 2 for $5.
Safe.
What?
It's a long fly ball.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods' ultimate fan experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here? Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the products you need and trust at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Save $10 on Gordon's 2.5-gallon liquid weed and feed or Trimet concentrate. 15% off assorted Rust-Oleum Stops Rust paint. And Balin Utility Gates, buy one, get one half price. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
This is WTMJ's Steve Scavini from Point Taken. It's that time of year to recognize the people who go above and beyond for our communities. If you know a first responder, dispatcher, or a healthcare provider who deserves recognition, text SALUTE to 855-616-1620. That's SALUTE, 855-616-1620. Or visit WTMJ.com to submit your nomination. But don't wait. Submissions close May 8th.
It's Steve Scafini's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Mission 94. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
One of the things I want to get on the record before we get out of here is the fact that I was watching Face the Nation Margaret Brennan hosting yesterday, and one of the security experts made this point. It kind of goes back to what happened in Las Vegas. If you remember 2017 shooting at the Mandalay Bay, the individual rented a room on the 32nd floor, shoots into a crowd who's attending an event, kills a lot of people, 60 people, which is horrific. Just that number is horrific. Any death by shooting is horrific. But one of the complaints was that they didn't have any sort of security to check people when they're bringing bags, huge bags, into hotels. And the complaint over the weekend was the hotel, the Hilton, which I've been to many times, stayed there many times for a lot of different events. How was someone able to bring these weapons in the very week before, and checked into a room, before this event where high-profile members of the administration, including the president, vice president, and others, would be attending? That's an opportunity for bad things, just like in Vegas and now in Washington, D.C. How events, public spaces are sort of set up or monitored before events happen to make sure that someone doesn't have the ability to sort of preload a few days or even weeks ahead of time to get ready for their act of terror. That's something that is also going to be examined here. Just on its face, it seems like something was relaxed, and whether that's an administration problem, Secret Service, hotel, and which is surprising me because the Hilton has hosted so many presidents and vice presidents over the years, mayors, high-profile mayors. It's a surprising development. But that's a story to watch, how this was allowed to happen. Thankfully, no one lost their life. Whole second hour of the Kristenless Point Taken show. Brian Jacobson, Dr. Brian Jacobson, will join us in place of Dave Spano, talking the economy, markets, and more. News is next.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The fact is, without us, you'll pay more. When you buy advertising, unless you're seeking out every avenue that the chosen medium has to offer and negotiating with every entity to find out what the true floor is, there's no way you can know if you really did get your best deal. In fact, there's a big chance that you'll overpay. We've done all the legwork, and with a very high volume of consistent year-in and year-out billing, we've uncovered rates that we're sure will surprise you. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
The proof is in the pudding. Advertisers that hire us stick with us for years and years because they trust us, because we always promptly respond to customer needs, and because bottom line, we get results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Clients page to see who trusts us and check out a long list of real advertising success. Then hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grew your business. Anderson-Smith.com.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit Froedtert.com/heart.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11 o'clock, we have 50 degrees, rain and storms likely today. Some could be severe. High today, 60. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. White House officials will be discussing security at a meeting today after a gunman breached security and tried to get into the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. ABC News contributor and former FBI agent Brad Garrett talks about the difficulty of securing a hotel before high-profile events.
The ability of any security apparatus to literally check 1,100 people checking in and out of rooms. It's not the same, but think about as you get on the metro in D.C. or New York or wherever it might be, I mean, you couldn't check people. The volume is too great. The atmosphere is such that it's just a built-in vulnerability.
One Secret Service agent wounded by gunfire. The suspect, 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance, California, expected to be arraigned on federal charges today. Britain's King Charles on his way to the U.S. for his first official state visit. ABC's James Longman says this trip comes amid criticism from President Trump over Great Britain's lack of help with the war in Iran.
It's not just the war that looms over this trip, but the Epstein scandal and the 2 active UK police investigations into the King's brother, disgraced Andrew, and Britain's former ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson, on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Both have denied wrongdoing and have not been charged.
King Charles and Queen Camilla will go to the White House this afternoon. The King will address Congress tomorrow. It's a next man up mentality for Wisconsin interim athletic director Marcus Sedbury.
I'm honored for this opportunity just to be in this space.
Sedbury was named the Badgers interim AD earlier this month after the surprise departure of Chris McIntosh.
This is an opportunity for me to serve right now the over 900 student athletes and staff that we have here, to represent the university in a way that they can be proud and be able to help us move forward.
With the university losing its athletic director and chancellor in just a few months' span, Sedbury says he hopes he can provide some stability in his new role.
We're in a good position as a program. Can we be better? Absolutely. Will we be better? I'm a firm believer that we will.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Another street takeover under investigation in Milwaukee, this time in the Bayview neighborhood. A group of people in cars gathered near Kinnick and Lincoln in the early morning hours Sunday. Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich says it lasted about 30 minutes and the group dispersed as soon as officers arrived. Police confirmed there were fireworks set off and they found no evidence of gunfire. The Milwaukee Fire Department also investigating the takeover to see if there's any connection to a house fire nearby. State regulators approve a plan that holds hyperscale data centers accountable for energy costs.
The Public Service Commission made several major changes to We Energy's proposal. Data centers must pay the full costs of new natural gas plants needed to power them. And the eligibility threshold for a very large customer rate is just 100 megawatts instead of 500. The commission also lengthened service agreement requirements from 10 years to 15. Commissioner Christy Nieto.
The decisions we're making here today will not be limited to this docket. They will shape future proceedings, future investments, and the trajectory of the utility system itself.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
More than a dozen tornadoes blew through portions of the Midwest over the weekend, and people from Mississippi to Wisconsin on alert for more severe weather today. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Severe weather continuing to wreak havoc. More than 30 million Americans on alert for severe weather from the plains to the Midwest. In Miami County, Kansas, powerful storms damaging at least 10 structures, knocking down rows of power lines and uprooting massive trees.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in less than 5 minutes. Time now for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 105 points. NASDAQ is down 67. The S&P 500 down 8. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Have you seen my husband?
No.
My husband is hot.
Okay.
And he just keeps getting hotter and hotter.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What?
But I have good news.
You do?
Hasselus Mattress is home to a variety of cool gel mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic.
No, I mean he's hot.
When he sleeps, I can relate. But our cool gel mattresses sleep an average of 10 degrees cooler than traditional mattresses. So he'll be cool as a cucumber.
Okay, but...
And right now, get 48 months interest-free financing on Tempur-Pedic with approved credit.
Well, that's great, but...
Plus, free next-day delivery and setup, free removal of your old mattress, and a $300 MasterCard gift card with your new Tempur-Pedic.
Hold on. You're saying I can cool down with a new Tempur-Pedic with no interest for 48 months and a $300 gift card?
What do you think?
I think that's pretty hot.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 5-0 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brewers will continue their homestand Tuesday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. NFL Draft over the weekend, Packers made their first selection in the second round, taking South Carolina cornerback Brandon Cisse. Green Bay added 3 more defenders, taking Missouri defensive lineman Chris McClellan, Penn State edge rusher Danny Dennis Sutton, and Alabama cornerback DeMonte Jackson. Packers begin OTAs in a month. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have a new crash. It is off on the right shoulder, I-94 east at the ramp from 35th Street. The right shoulder blocked due to a broken down vehicle. This is going to be 41 north, almost a mile beyond the ramp from Lannon Road. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain and storms likely today. Some could be severe. High today 60. The showers and storms should end overnight with a low 49. Partly cloudy tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Tuesday's high 62. Wednesday 55. Thursday partly cloudy 51. And Friday mostly sunny with a high of 50. 58 in Madison, 54 in Green Bay, 50 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
The work week is here. Let's begin with your Monday market preview with Annex Wealth Management Chief Economic Strategist, Dr. Brian Jacobson on Point Taken.
He's no fill-in. He's the guy. He is the expert on the economy and the markets and all things money. Welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a beautiful day to be on here.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about a lot of things on the next two segments, but I want to start with a couple of higher-level ones. Geopolitics is a word that Dave Spano likes to throw around a lot. I listen to your Saturday show. You've mentioned it almost every week.
Yeah.
What's different this week on the conversation, the general conversation about geopolitics than, say, last week or the week before?
So this week is really interesting. I mean, every week is interesting. It seems like there's always something new, right? It's like Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that's what every week has felt like pretty much. But this week, I think that from a geopolitical perspective, right, the fact that in Iran, it does seem like maybe one of their negotiators flying to Russia to talk to Vladimir Putin, showing that, well, you know what, U.S., if you don't agree to some of our terms, we do have options. But then also saying that they're going to propose that if we lift the blockade and if they open up the straits, we can have talks then. Will President Trump actually agree to any of those terms? And I think President Trump will use one of his favorite phrases, which is, we are holding all the cards, right? With this blockade, it is actually starving the Iranian regime to the tune of, tens of millions of dollars a day, which is pretty incredible. They have a decimated infrastructure in terms of who's actually in charge. So I don't think they're negotiating from a position of power here. So they might be grasping at a few straws. Plus, there is that whole issue in terms of the War Powers Act, the fact that President Trump was able to do the military operation, but it does have a finite deadline with it before Congress actually needs to affirm it. And that is sometime this week, depending upon how it is that you count the days. If it's from February 28th, basically tomorrow is the deadline for when there has to be like a 30-day plan of withdrawal. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, maybe it's on Thursday. So we're kind of coming to a head here.
All right, so this leads perfectly into my next sort of high atmosphere, general more topic question. My partner, who's not here today, Kristen's off this week, but she likes to say the stock market is not the economy. Other people have said this. It's a famous phrase. But it can suggest where we're going as far as the economy. We're manufacturers or producers of product. What does the market tell us? The markets tell us.
Yeah, the markets are forward-looking, so they're not necessarily going to react to the economic data except to the extent that it was a surprise. Imagine that it's like you're driving, right? You have your GPS, and if all of a sudden you find out you're on a different street or if you're in a different city, right? You have to course correct. And so that's what the market will react to in terms of maybe where it is that we are today. But then it's all about where are you actually heading? And the market really can look through some of these major geopolitical issues if it is thought that it's going to be fairly short-lived or not have that huge of an effect on corporate earnings. Because when you're investing, most of really what you're going to be getting in the future is, what are those dividends that the company will kick off? What's the growth of the company? What's the return for the shareholders? And that's all forward looking. So it's anticipating what's happening next with the economy more so than reacting to what's actually going on in the economy.
So if you're looking at the markets, and I'm going to just pick out the Dow, there's obviously other markets. Generally, it's been trending up. I think it's up almost 4% for the last month. Mm-hmm. That suggests there's a more maybe, again, tell me if I'm wrong, an optimistic view of where we're headed. Yes?
Yes, I would agree with that. And really, even if you look at the economic data itself, so there's earnings, which is really what the market focuses on for the, in terms of the Dow Industrials, the S&P 500, what's the corporate earnings there? And the economy, which is much more driven by household spending, household income. Both of those are actually holding up pretty well, more so on the corporate profit side than it is on the household income side of things. This week, we're going to be getting the first look at the first quarter gross domestic product numbers, so kind of a broad measure of macroeconomic activity. And it's probably going to come in, if you believe some of those estimates, like from the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, at around a 1.2% annualized pace, which isn't great, but it's not horrible. So, we're more than just treading water here, even if you are still feeling the pinch in certain areas.
Big week for Jerome Powell. His term technically ends on May 15th as the chair. Could be his last press conference this week as chief. Assess where you think this story is going to go.
I think a lot of the questions at the press conference, so that is going to really the statement comes out at 1 o'clock Central Time, and then he takes to the podium for his press conference at 1:30 Central Time. Most of the questions are probably going to be around what are his plans for if and when Kevin Warsh becomes the chair, because Chair Powell can stay on as a governor until January 2028.
I saw that. How likely is that, do you think?
I think that he is going to stick around until the Inspector General of the Federal Reserve wraps up the investigation, because on Friday we heard about how the Department of Justice was going to be dropping the charges, but they didn't really drop them. They said that they could restart it depending upon what the Fed Inspector General finds for these cost overruns for the rebuilding of the Fed headquarters.
Could have been a political move based on the conversation that Tom Tillis was making about his objection to anything to move forward without that removal of that probe.
That is 100% correct, right? Because that is what the North Carolina senator demanded, is that investigation be stopped before he will clear the vote to go in front of the entire Senate. So there's the nomination from the president, confirmation by the Senate, or there's the nomination by the president, confirmation by the Senate. But first, before it gets to the Senate, it goes through the Senate Banking Committee, and that's where Tillis has a lot of power, and he was able to stonewall it. And so as a result of the DOJ saying that they're going to be dropping the investigation, he said that he'll let it go ahead. That's likely going to happen on Wednesday. They're scheduling this confirmation vote on Wednesday. It could be a rubber stamp when it gets to the full Senate. So Wednesday is a huge day for the Fed. We might know who the chair is, and then also it's going to be Chair Powell's swan song before he leaves.
All right, he's Dr. Brian Jacobson, sticking around for one more segment, talking about Wednesday. Lots of earnings reports, including the S&P 500, one-third of those companies, and a big week for businesses like Starbucks and Coca-Cola. We'll get to all of that news with Dr. Brian Jacobson, with the folks at Annex Wealth Management. And don't forget, there's two great events happening pretty soon. Wednesday, April 29th, 3 p.m. to 4, how the Fed's announcement might affect your retirement plan. That's a good one. And I think one day later, April 30th, 6 to 8 p.m., The Art of Giving. Really important because some of the rules have changed here. The tax-savvy strategies for greater impact. All available on the events tab at annexwealth.com. Quick break here on Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.
Keeping you updated on culture and creativity. What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
Artistic director of Milwaukee Film, Kara Ogburn. What are some of the favorites for you?
The $6 Billion Man, about Julian Assange's trials, literally, and tribulations. Nuisance Bear is the documentary about a polar bear just trying to make his annual migration. Power Ballad with Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas.
Weeknights at 6 on WTMJ and the What's on Tap podcast on WTMJ.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Spivey for Lake Lawn Resort. I love talking about Lake Lawn because I've been going there for decades. Yes, almost 40 years, I think. There's no better place to welcome spring than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. It's spectacular. It's gorgeous. You can get a great meal, lakeside meal at 1878. Ate there a few months ago. Outstanding, great food. The setting is amazing. You can go out and golf around at Majestic Oaks. No matter your skill level, everyone's welcome. You can unwind and relax, that RELAX word, at the incredible Calidora Spa. 2 miles of shoreline along beautiful Delavan Lake. It's gorgeous. It looks great. Spring is happening out there. There's always something to do or simply find the perfect spots. Lake Lawn Resort. See why everything is simply better at the lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today. at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
The Milwaukee Auto Show is back. Bolder and better. At its new location, you'll see the newest everyday favorites, sleek luxury cars, rugged trucks, and fuel-efficient hybrids for more than 25 brands. Plus, test drive several new models right at the show. Bring the family, invite your friends. There's fun for all ages. Kids 12 and under are free. The Milwaukee Auto Show, the 14th through the 17th at Wisconsin State Fair Park Expo Center with discounted parking. Tickets at autoshowmilwaukee.com.
Continuing our conversation with Dr. Brian Jacobson, Chief Economic Strategist for Annex Wealth Management. Smart guy, all-around smart guy, and all-around nice guy. All right, we were talking about the economy, some general high-level stuff, and then, of course, the big news where what happens next for Jerome Powell and what happens for the leadership there. But there's a lot of earnings reports, including 1/3 of the S&P 500 and 5 of the Magnificent Seven, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, on Wednesday. What do you expect to see and read on Wednesday?
Yeah, so it's a really big week, not only for the geopolitics, also for the economics, but the earnings releases. We are going through what we refer to as earnings season. So during this period of time, a lot of corporations are reporting, giving us their report card for how they did over the last quarter. This week is particularly intense. Now, coming into earnings season, the expectation, according to FactSet, they're a research firm, and they ask a bunch of analysts, what are you expecting there to be on the earnings front? 13% year-over-year increase in earnings per share. So that's a very, very solid number. That's really good. That's better than economic growth, right? And that's where there can be that divide between the market and the economy, because it's really mostly about the earnings that we're focused on. So far, based upon the companies that have reported, so we're only about 25% of the way through, that run rate is closer to like 15 to 15.5%. I would expect that based on the numbers that we get this upcoming week, that could actually get even better in terms of that earnings growth. When we on our investment committee and all of our research analysts are really listening in on these calls and trying to figure out what's going on, it's about, okay, what's next, right? Sort of what's coming down the pipeline. That's where it could be most market moving to hear about not how did you do, but what are you expecting in terms of spending on data centers, investment in technology, and other things? Because obviously a lot of the earnings have been driven by those biggest names that you mentioned, right? Those top 5 names, they have been responsible for most of the earnings growth. And can this continue? We think that it does have some high likelihood of continuing on, at least for now.
I got to ask you about tariffs, because we know that the reimbursement process, I think that platform, that portal is open now, or at least that process has sort of moved forward. What's the conversation for folks, including you, Chief Economic Strategist, looking at when that word comes up, tariffs?
Sure. So on the tariff front, it's about how are they navigating the changes? What's the effect? How much of it are they eating as a company? And then how much are they trying to pass on, force down our throats as consumers, right? And now it's not just about tariffs, but it's also higher energy prices. We are in this period of time where those IEEPA tariffs, so those Emergency Economic Powers Act tariffs, were struck down by the Supreme Court. So that portal's open. But really, if you kind of do the math, that's like $160 billion worth of tariffs, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But what's probably more important is in terms of the energy, right? How much higher with fuel costs? How has that gone? Last week, we heard from Procter & Gamble, and they were just saying, well, if energy prices stay where they are for the next quarter, that could cost them like $1 billion. So you multiply that, across a few hundred firms, suddenly that's actually probably more important than the tariffs are.
Hey, real quick, because I'm teeing up use a golf analogy. You're out there, Dave Spano. You know what I'm talking about. AI and investing in the economy. I'm curious, give me like 30 seconds. That's sort of going to be a next layer to the sort of the way things are done, right? The use of artificial intelligence and how we analyze, how we make decisions, right?
Yeah, it really is. But I think that it should be thought of, one of the good analogies that I think of is like in the past, imagine hammers still have a place even though we have nail guns, right? You have bulldozers, but you also have shovels. So it's about artificial intelligence can really be this technology that can amplify the productivity of workers. A lot of the research has suggested that those individuals who have lost their jobs or not gotten jobs because of artificial intelligence are actually finding jobs in more more senior positions or more hands-on positions that are still more highly paid. So it's something that's going to play out over time, but it's not all doom and gloom. Even though that is probably what most people are focused on, there's tons of upside here, I think.
All right, next time we talk, I'm going to ask you a little more detail on the AI. I think I'm fascinated by it because it is transforming a lot of things in the business community and across the corporate world. So that's a note to myself to have that future conversation. Dr. Brad Jacobson, Chief Economic Strategist, Annex Wealth, always a great resource, annexwealth.com. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take a quick break here on Point Taken. Lots to talk about. We have a special guest. Wasn't on my original outline at 11:35. Look, I'm a football fan. We cannot spend a Monday after the draft without talking about football. Alex Strouf's going to join us. If you don't know that name, you should. Rising star at Good Karma Brands. That's coming up at 11:35. We'll tee up the news after this.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Hey, it's not every day that I get to do a live read or a partner ad, but this one is cool because the folks from Walney Legal are joining me on the show tomorrow. 11 o'clock hour, can't wait. They specialize in estate planning, wills, trusts, probate, elder care, really important special needs planning. They offer, you'll hear it on the radio tomorrow, customized, personalized experience, not cookie cutter, one size fits all. I love their motto, lawyering the way it should be. Clear communication, niche expertise, personal service, modern approach. I've had 3 meetings with them. I always learn something from the folks. You'll meet them personally tomorrow, the folks from Walney Legal. Friendly, creative, sensible, smart. They're so easy to work with. So it's elder planning, special needs children, transitioning to adulthood, all the things you might think about, including, we're going to spend a little bit of time on this tomorrow. I love this. How about the memorabilia you've accumulated over the years? Heirlooms. They're going to walk us through a conversation that you should have. They're going to give you the details on why it's so important to contact Walney Legal. Got that Bart Starr helmet? You might want to protect that for the next generation. Family dynamics, relationships, that's what they're about. Walney Legal. Visit Walney, W-A-L-N-Y, legal.com.
Burkhart Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhart. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say,
You can't beat Burkhart.
I didn't want my kids spending their weekends fixing my gutters or worrying if I was okay. Hi, this is Arvid. At Capri Communities, I have new friends, fun activities, and a safe, maintenance-free home. My children get peace of mind, and I get to enjoy life to the fullest. It's the best gift I could give them and myself.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
All right, wrapping up the first half of the 11 o'clock hour. Alex Strouf will join us from our friends over at ESPN 94.5 and GKB, talking NFL draft. Don't forget, next week, I was just talking to Producer Jazz about this. Next week, we're gonna play in the 11:30 slots, around that last half hour. the 5 honoree pieces that we did last year, including one which is nominated for WBA award. We'll find out this weekend if we actually won. I think it's up for 2 awards. Won one of those or both of those awards related to the story of a fighter. But I need your help. This is the nomination part of the story, right? So right now, you can nominate a first responder. What does that mean? Police officer, fire, dispatcher, EMT, medical provider, frontline emergency care. I mean, pretty broad nurse, pretty broad doctor, pretty broad definition. But I need your help. Easy way. If you have a story that you want me to try to flesh out and potentially share, because we got a lot of nominations. One year we got over 100. I don't have that many yet, but I want to hear those stories so I can pick the 5. They're all great, trust me. Pick the 5 honorees that we're going to bring on the show, celebrate with a great digital piece. That is going to happen I think the 4th week of May. Am I right on that? Something like that. Last week of May. Heroes Week is what we do. Text the word SALUTE, SALUTE. Salute to 855-616-1620. Easy. Send me name, apartments, how you got connected to this individual, the story, a couple paragraphs, why you're nominating them. And that's all the work I need for you. And then we go out and we reach out and we contact these folks and then we tell the best stories. They're all great. We tell the best 5 in Heroes Week. You can also find the nomination page on our website at WTMJ.com. WTMJ.com, easy to find, great website for all things news and all the great things we do here at WTMJ. There's a banner across the top. It says Salute. Easy to find. Click on it. Takes you to the nomination page. You can fill it out in about 45 seconds. Not difficult. Have an idea in mind on who you might want to nominate. I need your help, though. I need those in by May 8th. That's the deadline. I got to cut it off. And then I have to start, along with producer Jazz, working on these pieces and setting up Heroes Week. That's what I need from you. Salutes. SALUTE 855-616-1620. I'll do the rest of the work along with producer Jazz. We will tell some amazing stories of people who step up each and every day beyond what they already do, which is amazing, to share stories that change lives. I've had firefighters. One firefighter, I think it was West Dallas, saved 3 kids from drowning. He almost drowned in the act. He was on vacation when he did that. He was one of our honorees. Or the incredible firefighter story from last year, which is nominated for a WBA award. Good stuff. Need your help. Salutes. SALUTE 855-616-1620. Let's get them. Get those nominations in. So we got local news coming up with Connie Weber, who is as good as it gets. Is she America's favorite newswoman, do you think? She might be. She might be that good. I love Connie. And she's always here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays if you want to have some excess Connie love for you. And, of course, we got Alex Strofe, the guy. Now everybody talks about him. He's coming up at 11:35. Here now, the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Mike Tabusky. Cole Allen will appear in a Washington, D.C. courtroom this afternoon. He's the man accused of planning a mass shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner this weekend, even rushing past security before he was detained. ABC's Mary Bruce was in the room when it happened.
The president, first lady, and the evening's entertainer, Oz the Mentalist, seen talking on stage when a loud bang was heard. The first lady visibly shaken, appearing to mouth what happened. Law enforcement immediately rushing in, swarming the ballroom. Secret Service forcing the president to the ground, rushing him off stage.
Meanwhile, it's back to the drawing board when it comes to peace talks with Iran. Over the weekend, President Trump announced that a planned delegation headed to Pakistan would in fact not travel to the region for negotiations. And later today, British royals King Charles and Queen Camilla visit the White House. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. 2 14-year-old boys in custody following a deadly shooting on Milwaukee's north side. Police say the arrests are tied to a Friday night shooting near Chambers and Belle R. Phillips. A 15-year-old victim went to the hospital, later died. Still unknown what led to that shooting. The driver involved in a Green Bay bus crash that injured dozens pleads not guilty. 37-year-old Gabri Figueroa faces multiple felony charges tied to the crash last month. It left over 40 people hurt after a tour bus went off an exit ramp and then down an embankment. He previously told investigators the brakes on the bus failed before the crash. Prosecutors say Figueroa was driving without a license after it was revoked in 2017. He's due back in court July 9th. Plane heading to Orlando made an unexpected stop in Milwaukee after a possible in-flight issue. Officials say a Delta flight from Minneapolis was diverted to Mitchell International Sunday night after a smoky odor was detected in the cabin. There were over 100 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Plane landed safely. Everybody Carrie's okay. Delta says it's investigating the cause of the odor. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 65 points, 49,165. The Nasdaq down 29, 24,807. S&P 500 down a point, 7,164. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We had a left shoulder block due to a disabled vehicle. It's been cleared. I-41 north at the ramp from County G. Also, there's some road work happening on the ramp from 43 north to 794 east Plankinton. It's going to be closed until mid-afternoon. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain and storms likely today, some possibly severe. High today 60. Those storms should end overnight. An overnight low 49, then partly cloudy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday's high 62, Wednesday 55, and Thursday's high 51. Then the sunshine returns on Friday, high of 50. 59 in Madison, 55 in Green Bay, 51 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
From the leather aspect, leather has a lot of natural characteristic in it.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
And the leather suppliers, they disclaim, right? This leather is going to have bug bites. It's going to have maybe barbed wire marks, what have you.
Branding, there's brands in a lot of the leather that comes from certainly out west.
Right. Where they're still branding cattle.
Where they're still branding cattle will have branding marks in it.
But if you just sit and watch a cow, she scratches on everything. They do.
Walking over to a tree and going like this.
It's they're 1,500 pounds. They're pushing on that tree or pushing on that fence. You wonder why they got marks on their body.
I love that in leather. When I see a leather sofa that has natural markings in it, I absolutely love that.
See more at pennymustard.com.
That leather lives on for a long, long time with these furniture.
Right.
A long, long time.
Yep.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you, who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Oh, you don't hear that song often on Point Taken. That means we got in studio. I get the pleasure and the privilege of working with him on the home games, most of them anyway when they're not traveling the world. Packers Game Day, ESPN 94.5, Alex Strofe. Producer, talents. What else do you do? You're a writer.
I cook sometimes when I have time for that.
I've never had your food.
You should.
Really?
Yeah, come on over anytime.
The best of Green Bay cuisine. What are you offering up?
The best of Green Bay cuisine. I know how to grill a mean brat.
That's a skill that some people don't have.
I was at the Brewers game on Saturday night. I'm 0-3 on the year. I don't want to talk about that. But I had a stadium style brat. So that's just kraut, onion, and stadium sauce. Dude, life changing. Life changing. Anyway. That's what I do.
Now I'm hungry because I haven't eaten yet. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too. Maybe we should go find lunch after this.
All right. Actually, I have a bit of time.
Yeah, I really don't.
But you always go to the same place.
I'm on the air at 12:30.
You're very unimaginative on your lunch choices. Dude, spread the wings a little bit.
That's the ADD in me. I like what I like.
All right. So, unless you're going to cave again, I've used that term a couple times today. The NFL draft happened in Pittsburgh. I thought they did a nice job.
Yeah, it's
spectacular.
Yeah. I obviously wasn't there, but it seems like it's become such a spectacle. It's like the circus is coming to your town, and I mean that as a compliment.
They do it great.
I mean, we did it last year in Green Bay. You were there. I was there. It was awesome. And it seems like Pittsburgh took a couple of pages out of the Green Bay book, and it looks like they got close, if not beat the record of attendance, close to 1 million people throughout the weekend.
All right. So well done, Pittsburgh, just like it was well done Green Bay, and who's next year? Do you know?
DC.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going to that one.
It looks interesting.
Should I call in a favor from the Packers org?
I think you should, yes, as an owner.
Ed Policy. Who? All right. So the Packers unusually had only 6 picks because, Goody likes to go double digits on these things every year.
It seems like there's been a little bit of a philosophy change for him in the last year, right? He trades for Micah Parsons, trades 2 first-round picks. You point out how much he loves his picks.
Yeah.
Only 6 picks this year. He made a joke about making 20 next year. This is kind of a down draft class.
They got a lot
ton of
next
great
year
players.
already, right? Like 11 or
They
something?
should have 11,
Yeah.
and he'll likely add. But, yeah, it was uncharacteristic. The other uncharacteristic part, though, is it almost seems like he listened to me and you. He listened to the fans.
Yeah.
He drafted the needs
Oh,
that
we need
fans
that?
wanted to see.
I'll draft that.
Which typically he doesn't listen to the outsiders. And maybe it just his board fell perfectly that, okay, best player available is also a need.
Yeah, they got some value in their picks. I think that's why that happened.
Yeah, that second-ranked corner Brandon Cisse out of South Carolina was viewed as a borderline first-round pick. He fell all the way to the late second. Dennis Sutton, the edge rusher out of Penn State, who they got in the 4th round, was looked as a second-round pick. So they got some value. And then how about a kicker to end things off? They trade up 2 picks to
I hate kickers, one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Except when I need them, and I need them to make the kick, and it's one job. It's a one-job job. I don't like using draft because you can't find anybody else to pick besides a kicker.
It's a need they had, right? They
just signed McManus to. They
well,
gave him a bonus.
They view what he did in Chicago as unacceptable,
Yeah, he
so they're going to raise the. Yeah, he sucked. He missed 3 kicks, and he left 7 points on the board. They lost by 4.
So this a camp challenge? Is that what this is?
Yeah, and they still have the former substitute teacher Lucas Habersick on the roster.
right.
He was on the practice squad. He filled
What's
in
he
a couple
up to?
games.
Is he substitute teaching or what? Is
No,
he
he's got an NFL contract still. So they'll have all 3 of those guys in camp unless something changes.
I don't want to
between
talk
now
about
and then.
kickers because that's either make them or you don't. Anything beyond that is like a waste of my time. All right, so
You're such a curmudgeon-y old man. I love you.
Okay. Thanks for the love comment. I'll ignore the stuff that came before that, which hurts my feelings, but I'll let it go because you're Alex Strofe, you're a rising star at GKB. All right, so the players they got: cornerback, we got a edge rusher, we got an interior offensive lineman, apparently.
Yep. Interior defensive lineman as well, yeah.
Okay, how do they help this team next year? Because that's my question. Yeah, you can get a couple years out. Oh, they'll be a starter eventually. I don't care about that. Next year, we are a Super Bowl caliber team, yes or no?
I think yes. Now, to answer the first part of that question is Brian Gutekunst will tell you it won't change us from being a Super Bowl team to more of a Super Bowl team because of rookies. And I'd make the argument, and I have a lot this weekend, that I'm not asking for these guys to come in and win Rookie of the Year. I'm not asking for Brandon Cisse. Well, he's the second-round pick, the cornerback, for example. I'm not asking him to come in and be all rookie and one of the best corners in the league, but he's going to have to play snaps just based on sheer body count in some of those rooms. You look at the defensive line, you look at the cornerback room. There's not a lot of guys in those rooms right now.
Didn't we get plagued by lack of depth at the end of the season?
Yes.
All the injuries?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I look at the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl. It's a copycat league. That's what you have to do. You look at Seattle, you look at New England. Both of them had multiple rookies starting last year. Now, they had much higher picks, specifically New England did. I think they had the 2nd or 3rd overall pick last year. And it was an unbelievable turnaround for them to get from one of the worst teams in the league to the Super Bowl. And the Packers aren't plagued by that many holes that New England was, where they had to spend all that money in free agency and spend all the draft capital. But if you could have 1 or 2 guys that play meaningful snaps and have meaningful contributions in year 1, that could take you from an 11-win team to a 12-win team. That can take you from being second place in the NFC North to winning the NFC North. So I anticipate a couple of these guys are going to have opportunities to play some meaningful snaps.
Which position most likely? Cornerback?
Corner, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Nixon's kind of the guy on one side.
Yep.
Yeah.
They like Javon Bullard in the slot. They like Carrington Valentine, but he's a 7th-round pick from a few years ago. By the way, Nixon and Valentine both entering the final year of their contract. So are they here in 27? So you're going to need this guy to play. You're going to
play better.
You want to know how good
money.
he is.
Yeah.
So
what's I know this is a lame way to end it, but what's your grade for the draft?
I don't do draft grades. Draft grades are dumb. Ask me in 2 years.
Another reason why I like you, because you don't play that lame game. But I heard it on some of the shows, and it's like,
I understand why. Like, if I was to grade it based on my pleasure as a fan watching it, I'd give him an A because he addressed the needs that he typically hasn't outside of maybe offensive line. But all in all, I'm not going to know anything for 2 years on just how good these guys can be.
Lots of time, lots of real estate between now and the start of camp.
Yep.
Where do you think this team's at?
I think they're really good.
Why really good?
Because I think there's only so many teams that have been as consistent as them the last few years. Right?
That's not even in question. They've been consistent.
Despite being the 7th seed each of the last 3 years, they're still in the playoffs the last 3 years. And
they're not like the Bears where they just avoid a playoffs for many seasons in a row.
For a decade.
Yeah.
But I think Matt LaFleur has a fire under him. I think he's a good head coach. I think he can win. I still think he can win a Super Bowl in Green Bay. I do believe that. I think he's that good. I thought last year was one of his, if not his roughest year at the helm. And clearly this offseason there's been a lot of discussion about changes and expectations. So I think they're a really good team. I think they should be viewed as, if not the one of the favorites in the best division in football in the NFC North, and they'll be back in the playoffs.
Are they better than the Bears?
I think so. I think it's close, though, and that sucks to say because I love saying the Bears still suck. I don't really think they suck right now.
I don't know if anyone ever describes you as a gentle soul, but is it wrong of me to want Caleb Williams to just get destroyed in some of these early games next year? Just destroy him. He turns around on one of his famous, spins and just gets destroyed by like a 6'5" guy off the line.
Yeah, you're not rooting for injury, you're rooting for embarrassment,
just
right?
shake him up a bit.
Yeah.
Because once you get hit like that in a situation you're not expecting, it changes your outlook.
I think that is a fan comment, which
I'm
you are allowed to,
I'm a fan.
Which you are allowed to make. Yes.
I always tell people, I'm not
I'm
a
a fan
sports
too.
broadcaster. I'm here as the fan perspective.
Yeah, I'm with you on
That's why Willie gets so mad at me.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're very emotional, though. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah.
As a Packers fan, not in general. I think you're mostly level-headed, but when it comes to your Packers fandom, you're a little emotional.
Let me figure that. So you basically said when it's sports, I'm very emotional. Everything else emotionless.
That's why you were a mayor for a long time.
Oh, my God.
Got to stay level-headed.
Why do I like you so much?
I don't know. We'll figure that out someday, though.
All right. Rising star of ESPN 94.5. I turned on my thing this morning. You're on the morning show.
I did hang out with those guys this morning, yeah.
By the way, here's my exclusivity contract that I'm just teasing.
Yeah. We'll talk about that off the air.
All right.
Have my people talk to your people. Thanks, buddy.
Get to work. Alex Strofe, he is as good as it gets when it comes to sports and beyond because he's a smart guy as well. All right. I still got 17 minutes left or so. Maybe I can piss somebody else off in the remaining part of the show. Let's see what I can do on politics or other topics after this.
M.W. Marine.
Fishing season kicks off this weekend. Are you ready to hit the water? Stop into MW Marine and check out the brand new 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Start your boat shopping now and lock in a great deal so you're ready when summer hits. MW Marine takes trades, offers full boat service, plus outdoor storage to keep your rig in top shape. Call now to schedule a private appointment or stop in today. MW Marine.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scavini for QC Kinetics. At some point, you got to stop calling it pain and start calling it just how I am now. So deep down, you know that's not right. That's not okay. Get back to the normal you, the one who is active, carefree, fun. Let's start with an introduction to Dr. Ashley Carabelli and a great team at QC Kinetics. I met him last year, 5 treatments. Absolutely changed my life. I had a bad elbow, tear, strain, tennis elbow, whatever you want to call it. 5 treatments later, good as new, golfing, landscaping, gardening, conducting, if you're watching the studio camera. Look, they help people deal with pain from arthritis or injury, hips, shoulders, knees. Now they're moving, sleeping, golfing, running without surgery. The science is real. The treatments are natural. Your body knows how to heal itself. QC Kinetics makes that connection, gives you the right tools, no operating room, no hardware, no watching summer from a recliner. How does that sound? Get out. Go back to the version of you that doesn't need a route mapped out for you where you have to sit or avoid stairs. Do something about it. QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's the magic number. QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you love the way your home looks? When you pull in, do you think, wow, the old homestead looks fantastic? Or do you notice that the siding's all faded and the roof is kind of falling apart? Well, Tri-County Contracting can help make it look the way you truly want it and make you love it. The website is tricountycontractingwi.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
I almost thought you were bringing back Sandman for the end of the show, but I still have 2 seconds. Anyway, so I have, not deliberately, but I've had guests on, so I haven't been able to read the very active text line. A couple texters. Let me know what you think about this. 855-616-1620, the Signing Unlimited WTMJ Talking text line. I had a nice conversation on Saturday. If you're listening on Saturday at WTMJ, I was at Eric Brown and from Siding Limited and Outdoor Living Unlimited. I'm a great sponsor at WTMJ Outdoors, which I do every Saturday. Have you checked that show out? Why not? Anyway, I'm off topic. I'm reading the text line, and I'm seeing people saying, who are you to tell anyone about security? And I'm not doing that. I said security experts, so you can't trust security experts anymore? Is that what you're saying to me? Said that the period before an event happens, especially one as high profile, with the most important people in our government, you might want to, you don't just show up day of and set up your security and your metal detectors. There's some advanced planning. Now, I don't know if they did that or not, but most of the security experts, not me, said something didn't go right. Something was missing here. And the something is the fact that somebody can run through an area that is blocked for security, discharge a weapon, and we are lucky that no one was killed. A couple of people asked me about the ballroom piece, and I did add it to my commentary earlier. Look, the two things in my world, in my reality, don't exist in the same space. One is the security and protection of American presidents. I don't care where you're at, parade, events, one of these pressers, campaign events, large venues, stages, and those outdoor settings. We need to make sure that the president's protected at all times. No, nothing's perfect. But keep in mind, this president has been shot at twice, and the third event, the second of the three, an individual was setting up to shoot the president near a golf course. So there already is that level of risk. All presidents have risk. Gerald Ford was shot at twice in 1 month. Ronald Reagan was nearly killed, requiring a few hours of surgery to save his life. I just think we need to be smarter on this stuff. Now, I'm going to do it after the break, but there's a rhetoric piece to this, which I want to talk about because both sides, and let's be honest, it's Republicans and Democrats for the most part, are hurling grenades on this topic. So I'm going to dip my toe a little bit before we get out of here at noon and hand it off to the news at the top and the midday show. And I'm going to try to spend a little more time Wednesday on this topic because a lot of people saying stuff. And I would argue that we could do a lot more listening and less talking, but the listen better, be smarter thing sort of rings true in my head, and I've said it for a long time. I'll have some thoughts as we wrap the show on this Monday Kristen-less edition of Point Taken on maybe just taking it down from 11 to maybe a 4 or 5. If you're smart enough to know what I mean by 11, you'll understand what my point was. Quick break.
How are things at Kessler's Greenfield, Kelly?
Fantastic. I heard you have an idea for springtime.
I love spring.
I have a big collection of new life to show you.
New life is a spring thing.
Show us. I call it crosses and clovers.
These are amazing.
Well done, Kelly.
These are stunningly unique.
Kelly, the surface of this 4-leaf clover is fantastic. What's it made of?
Sarah, the surface of that lucky 4-leaf clover is made of crushed black diamonds.
Wow. I'm buying this one. How much?
$185. In yellow gold vermeil, it's just $270.
This cross?
$90.
And these initials pendants?
These are $60.
Clovers, crosses, and personalized pendants.
And a leprechaun that says they're magically delicious.
Sarah, that's a breakfast cereal.
Kelly, you've done well.
Extremely well. Extremely very well. Happy springtime, everyone.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Accunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I am Steve. Hey, got that right. I am Steve, and it is the end of the show almost. It was a Spinal Tap reference. Crank it up to 11. I'm saying take it down from 11. If you are paid to be a broadcaster or a podcaster or someone who speaks for a living about politics, this is the moment to take it from 11 down to maybe a 4, maybe a 3. Here's why I say that. Maybe I'll just give you the evidence first. We are seeing this escalation of these types of acts in our country, from Charlie Kirk to attacks on the president and a myriad of other things that involve non-famous people, and in some sad cases, children going to school. And I don't normally like to call out my colleagues that often, but we need more intelligent debates on this topic. Yeah, it's sexy to call out the one side, so the conservative squawkers are calling out liberals for their attacks, and I assume if there's any left, liberal squawkers are taking their shots at Republicans. What's the point of this argument? None of that arguing that you've done over the air, out loud, or podcasted is helping the equation, which is less people being shot at or more or less violent events. So it ain't working. So to simply say things out loud for impact, effect in this chase for dollars, and we know it sells, right? Everybody from MSNBC on one side to Fox on the other, it sells. Americans have, for whatever reason, decided they like that kind of content, and until we shake them up a bit and maybe give them a cold, hard slap across the face, it's probably not going to change. But what needs to change is these incidents grabbing headlines, immediately followed up not by consideration, thoughtful debates, but just more noise, more squawk. How's that working out? The answer is not working out. I'm going to dig deeper on this topic. I'm going to do some research on some of the things that are being said out there, the impact, some of the ramifications of not turning down the rhetoric when it comes to politics. And yeah, there's all kinds of shows that do that. If you like those shows, congrats on you, but not my thing. Got a busy show tomorrow. Got 3 guests, lots to talk about. The news is next on 620 WTMJ.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the fix-it shop